What's good? What's good? What's good, my people? We're breaking down Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. The big question on everyone's mind is: does Alex still has it? Is he going to be able to recapture the belt, or is Magomed Ankalaev going to be able to retain it? So these are my thoughts. Right. This is a tricky fight because I'm not gonna sit here and say Alex Pereira is not talented, but Alex Pereira is one of the most talented athletes you can ever meet, especially striking. In the UFC, I do feel like, and a lot of people have felt like this is a controversial take, but I do feel like behind Alex, what's his name, Israel Adesanya, and bear with me. The reason I say this is because if you look at technique, I'm not just because Alex Pereira has power, but when we talk about technique, I think Israel Adesanya is ahead. But I digress. You are here for Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. So, before we go any further, let's look at the statistics. I do think they influence the fight, even though a lot of people say, they don't matter. Trust me, they matter. Right? Obviously, you shouldn't just look at the statistics, but in conjunction with every type of research, such as watching tape and everything else, I think statistics actually count. So, the most important thing is the reach, which Alex Pereira has a massive reach advantage, specifically a 4-inch reach advantage, which is going to play a role, especially when it comes to striking, because when the fight is standing, it makes it a little bit difficult for the opponent to get into the pocket or to get close enough to actually finish the fight, which is one of the reasons why I feel like Magomed Ankalaev didn't finish Alex Pereira the first time. Um, as far as finishing ability, clearly Alex Pereira has the advantage here. Alex Pereira has a 83% finishing rate, whereas Magomed Ankalaev has a 52% finishing rate. But the interesting thing is, I felt the same way about what's his name, Carlos Olberg. I was like, I mean, what's his name? Dominic Reyes is going to definitely have the finishing ability. If Carlos Olberg is going to win this fight, he's probably going to need a finish, or it's probably going to go to a decision. And boy, was I wrong. Even though I got 3 fights wrong and 9 fights correct out of 12, which is not bad, but still, I was wrong about that because Carlos Olberg managed to finish the fight. So, the finishing ability statistics are very important, but you should leave room for surprises. As far as significant strikes, clearly Alex Pereira is a little bit more active. He throws a little bit more than Magomed Ankalaev. So maybe that might be an advantage, especially if it doesn't fade as the fight progresses. As far as defense, Magomed Ankalaev is a little bit better defensively. It could be because of his wrestling ability. People are afraid to engage with him because of that. But nonetheless, irrespective of the reason, it is a massive advantage. We cannot overlook that. As far as grappling abilities, I mean, we all know that Magomed Ankalaev would be the better grappler in this particular situation. Um, Even though he doesn't shoot a lot of takedowns, which is honestly interesting. Like based on statistics, Alex Pereira has shot more takedowns, or rather has an average of shooting takedowns that's higher than Magomed Ankalaev. Just that I think Magomed Ankalaev is a little bit more successful with his takedowns. Obviously, this 50%, don't take too much stock of that because this is from the fight with Israel Adesanya. It was at some point 100%, so at some point I guess Alex Pereira failed with the takedowns, but don't take that too much into consideration. That is inaccurate. This is where statistics can mislead you, but they do actually have a significant impact. So purely because of the fact that I feel like Magomed Ankalaev is essentially a better striker, um, more specifically a better defensive striker. I think Alex Pereira relies on his ability to actually close the distance and actually hurt you, which is kind of difficult to do with someone like Magomed Ankalaev, because Magomed Ankalaev is very good defensively. And even when he feels like, okay, I might be in trouble, he has the option of shooting in order to offset the momentum of his opponent, which is why I think, or rather, which is what was basically happening in the first fight. A lot of people think Magomed Ankalaev was actually shooting takedowns to get the takedown, which couldn't be any further from the truth. The honest truth is that I think Magomed Ankalaev was using the takedowns in order to create openings or to avoid any danger. Whenever Alex Pereira came too close and maybe Magomed Ankalaev maybe felt like he was being pressured too much, he would shoot takedowns in order to offset the momentum and obviously to press the reset button basically, so that he can, I don't know, land a little bit better. So yeah, I genuinely do feel like Magomed Ankalaev is a little bit more well-rounded than Alex Pereira. It's not even a thought. It has been proven in the last fight. And there's this thing of champions become better, or rather athletes or fighters become better once they become champions, which is probably what's going to happen with Magomed Ankalaev. Combined with the fact that Alex Pereira is, I know it's light heavyweight, but I mean, age is age and it does count to some extent. So, how old is Alex Pereira? He's currently 38, still fighting really, really well. But in comparison, in contrast, the Magomed Ankalaev is how old now? I think he's still within his prime. I think it's like 33 or something to that effect. Yeah, he's 33. So, in fighting years, Magomed Ankalaev is still in his prime. And he still has at least 2 more good years um, fighting at the top level. So, in all honesty, I genuinely do feel like Magomed Ankalaev is going to get this one done. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a finish, a TKO, KO. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I think Alex Pereira has achieved a lot. So yeah, my subscribers and I are going with Magomed Ankalaev. That's it. See you on the next one. Deuces.